Well, hello. Welcome to today's training session on how to flip the switch to fast and easy weight loss. Michelle Hart here, a nutritionist and detox specialist. I'm so glad you're here. I am trying this new platform now for training you into getting slimmer and sexier and stronger. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share with you today what I share with my personal clients to help them lose up to 20 pounds within 12 weeks without giving up their favorite food and wine, so that you can live confidently in this new world. We are in a new world. We need to do new things to be able to lose the weight and keep it off for life. So I'm going to give you a training session today. And if you like it, please get a hold of me and we can continue the conversation with maybe getting you started. Okay, so give me a second here. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Okay, so you should be able to see what is described as the Slim, Strong, and Sexy Forever program. So I'm going to share with you a part of this program that is actually going to flip the switch to fat loss so that you can get started right away. And what I do is I always like to share with you just someone who is very inspirational with her being, and something maybe that you could image for yourself, which is Wonder Woman. And I think of Wonder Woman as infinite potential for us women. For men, it would maybe be Superman, but really these superheroes, they have an ability to they're reaching their potential, and we have the ability to reach that potential as well. We just don't believe it, but really we can do it. Just think of all the things you've done in the past and what you are doing now. So yes, you can. So Wonder Woman, I always like to latch onto her, because what is she? She is pure energy. She's limitless and she has infinite potential. So something to maybe think about. And let's get into today's training. So really, I'm going to share with you the first step out of my 9-step plan, which will actually help you unlock your own ability to lose the weight and keep it off for life. And so this first step, I call the self-test assessment. You're going to see why this is really important. So I want you to imagine for a moment if you had really a team of world-class scientists that will detect exactly why your body couldn't lose weight and find a simple solution to fix it fast. Well, you're going to learn that today, okay? And I'm just going to share with you, if you really feel that, I've done this before and it hasn't worked, or I'm too old to lose the weight, or I'm in menopause and this is what's supposed to happen, and all these things. Actually, it's not. And I have helped like thousands of women and men lose weight no matter what their age. Here's one example of Joanne. She's one of my superstars. I'm so grateful that Joanne reached out to me. She was on a weight loss plan that wasn't really a healthy weight loss plan, and basically wasn't enjoying it, and felt herself starving and depriving, and really wanted to find a way where she could eat delicious foods and enjoy some of her favorite foods that are supposed to be like taboo, while still losing the weight, having more energy and stamina and vibrant health. And she was able to do all of that on this program. You're going to learn a very simple step so that you can do the same. So, hey, if Joanne can do it at 60, if I can do it at 54 and keep it, like, why couldn't you? Here are the struggles that I see with most women and men who fail to lose the weight and keep it off for life. Okay, so I would say the first struggle that I see most individuals make is they're just looking for the next shiny object, whether it be a supplement or some kind of surgery or the next diet. And they're not really looking at really the driver of why your body can't lose the weight and keep it off for life. So we're not really looking at the driver, which is the root cause for you. Okay. And so quite often these individuals feel like a failure because they're not really getting to fix the problem. Okay. And the second weight loss struggle I see time and time again for women and men who want to lose the weight and keep it off for life is they start because they're so excited. Yeah, I've got this new plan, which is great, great. But then they stop. And then they start up again, and then they stop. So this is effectively called yo-yoing, and it's a lack of consistency. So really, if you're going to start something, why don't you just complete it? And if it's not working for you, then stop and find something that will. So what happens is you feel guilty. Oh, I can't do this. Well, maybe the plan isn't good enough for you. Maybe the plan isn't working. Okay, maybe you're working, but the plan isn't working for you. You need a plan that works for you. And the danger, I'm saying the danger in this yo-yo dieting is that you're actually accumulating, you're adding more fat cells. Yes, you can make more fat cells. I'm not going to get into the mechanics of it, but what I'm going to suggest to you is every time you do the yo-yoing, you're making it more difficult to actually lose the weight and keep it off for life. So this eventually does lead to taking, it's going to take longer for you to even accomplish your goal. So why don't you just start now and do it right? Just saying. And you can absolutely flip that switch and start to burn fat, build muscle, look and feel 10 years younger, and you're going to learn how today. So the third reason why I see so many women and men struggle with weight loss and keep it off for life is they think that they need to rely on motivation when actually that is fast and fleeting. Okay, we all are motivated at some time in the day or in the week, but it's not always consistent. So if we're always thinking that it's motivation that's going to do it, actually it's not. It's really about developing the skill of self-discipline. Okay, so it's developing a skill of this. Okay, and so we're not born disciplined. No, we learn to be disciplined, and we hang on to that because that's what's going to keep you consistent, so that you can get your results. And that way, you're not going to lose hope, because really, once you are disciplined with the right system, which is what you're going to learn today, then all you do is just follow the system and just do what you're step by step. And some days you may not feel like it, but you know what? If you have discipline, you're going to do it anyway, and that's how you're going to get your results. So really, let's get away from this fleeting motivation. Hey, if you have it, take it to the next level, but you're not always going to have it. Just remember, it's the discipline that you want to cultivate with the right system. Okay. So I want to welcome you right now to the new you, because really, it's really about you deciding, are you ready? And it really is about you committing to you. And it starts with deciding, this is it. Like there's no failed approach. This one here, this program does work. It's really about, am I ready? Am I ready to embark in the new me? Because this is somebody who is so tired and frustrated, the starving and depriving and all these things that aren't working, to something actually that does work. I just want to honor you if you're ready, because really you can be the new you. Others have done it, so can you. So we're going to get away from confusion. We're going to get away from overwhelm. We're going to get away from all this like no change, to firing up fat loss, to burning up more calories, and to reaching your ideal weight faster than you ever thought possible. So you can be a superhero, your own superhero. You could be a Wonder Woman or whatever superhero you want to be, because really you are there already. You just need the right system. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment, but I do want to let's start with committing to you, because here's the thing. Like, you're so good at committing likely to your next appointment, or to your kids, or to your spouse, or to your dog, or to everybody else. But what about you? Like, don't you think you're important? Of course you are. You're very important, because if you're good, everyone else is good. Do you ever notice those days when like things are really working well for you? You know that you're kind of like vibrating at this like higher level, and likely other people are noticing it and they're even nicer to you. Well, because you're vibrating at this level, because you put yourself there. Okay. And so how would you like more days like that? Because that's exactly this program is. When you start to see results right away, you actually vibrate at a level that's higher. More people notice, and it's like, wow, this is kind of fun. Like, I'm living a joyful, abundant life, instead of this fear and this guilt, which we really need to get away from. Okay, like that is the old paradigm. That is the old ways. We need to move over to joy and abundance, and to this playground that you're going to learn about today, which is really Life is meant to be enjoyed. It's a wonderment. Look around you. It is beautiful. So if we put these different set of glasses on and we look at losing weight in a different way, which is actually fixing the metabolism, flipping the switch, yes, you can do it. Then you have other people benefit too. Okay. So just a little side note there. So let's get into the steps. How are we going to flip this switch so that you can, lose weight and keep it off for life? Well, we've really got to pinpoint why. Like, we've got to go to the root cause. Why is this so frustrating for you? Why can't you lose the weight? Well, we're going to do this without time-consuming and expensive tests. We don't need to use those in the beginning. No, we don't. So basically, I've cracked the code to weight loss because I need to fix myself, and I've done that, and I've helped thousands of others. Here's what we need to do. We need to learn more about you. We need to do a self-test assessment. We need to find out more about your metabolism. Why isn't it running smoothly? Why can't you just eat food and be at your perfect weight? Well, because your body needs to be trained to do that. We need to find out, why isn't it working? Well, we're going to do that right now. So there's a number of different icons here, or images on the screen, and you can probably see my little cursor here. So what I basically do is I boiled it down to 6 metabolic imbalances. So 6 reasons why you can't lose weight, and then how to fix it, plus 1 extra one. So if you are somebody who is 20 or more pounds overweight, you're looking likely in the wrong direction if you aren't able to lose the weight. We need to fix this one hormone called leptin for everything else to work. So getting back to flipping the switch. Flipping the switch means finding out why you can't lose weight. It does start with the self-assessment. There are 6 metabolic imbalances that are stopping you from losing weight. We are going to find out which one is you. But to start, I'm actually going to start with the leptin resistance quiz before I get into the others. So we're going to find out, are you leptin resistant? Is it leptin, the hormone, that's not working properly, that's not allowing you to burn the body fat and get to the weight you want to be easily? This is fast and easy. It's not a struggle. It is so easy to do when you know what you're doing. And that's what this program is all about. Okay. So I'm going to, let's see if I go here. No. Okay. So I'm going to stop this share. And I'm going to move on to a different share. So just bear with me for a moment. And stop that. And then we're going to get into, I hope you're enjoying this. Then we're going to get into a different share. Just one moment. I'm learning this program, which I'll be using moving forward. So we are going to go here. Okay. So hopefully on the screen, you see where it says leptin resistance quiz. What that means is there is this one hormone called leptin. And leptin, we need to make sure leptin is working properly. Okay, so let's see if it is. All right, so this could be the flip of the switch that you just need today to start to burn fat and keep it off for life. Okay, so really, really pay attention. So let's find out a little bit about leptin. So what is leptin? Leptin is actually a hormone that gets released from your fat cells that enters your brain to tell your brain that you are satisfied, that you don't need any more food, and that you can go on and be productive. Okay, and this is like the flip of the switch that anyone who is still struggling may need to fix. Okay, but we're going to find out, are you leptin resistant? Is leptin working or not? We're going to actually find that out today, and then we're going to look at the answers so that you can get it working again. And then I'm telling you right now, you have food freedom. You will be at your ideal weight faster than you can ever imagine and keep it off for life. So this is one of the missing pieces that I want to share with you right now. So leptin, actually the word leptin, is considered our master hormone. And it actually does, in Greek, it means thin. So we want to make sure leptin is working properly, okay? So let's see, what we're going to do is we're actually going to, right now, real time, we're going to do a self-assessment right now to see if maybe leptin is not working and that we need to fix it so that you can lose the weight. So if you have a pen and paper on hand, I highly, highly recommend you start to see if this is right for you. So you're going to assess yourself, okay? if this is, if you're leptin resistant. So that means when I ask you this question, you're going to mark it as a yes or a no. Okay, so the first question to see if your leptin isn't working properly is, are you overweight more than 20 pounds with a good portion of it around your belly? Or are you actually underweight? So you can either be overweight or underweight. And yes, it'll all come together. So anyways, if you're overweight more than 20 pounds, put a yes, okay? Do you have an eating disorder, or did you have an eating disorder? What that means is anorexia or bulimia. Anorexia means you can't really tell when you're hungry or full, and you are basically losing weight so quickly that you have this body dysmorphia. When you look in the mirror, you think you're overweight, but actually you're not as overweight as you think you are. And you can't really tell when you're hungry or full. Bulimia is you eat so much that you actually puke after, because you have this this aversion to having too much food in your body, and so you puke it up. So those are two eating disorders that really, if you do or have them or had them, put a yes. If you've had any lab work done and you have this one marker called highly sensitive CRP or HSCRP, if it's over 1, we know that you are highly inflaming and you are likely leptin resistant. Okay, the other one is if you look at your blood work and you have a reverse T3 that's elevated, then you are likely leptin resistant. Put a yes. And this is blood work that you've had in the last 6 months. And if you don't know how to read your blood work, please get a hold of me. I do read blood work, and I can really help you decipher or differentiate kind of what it means. So you can reach out to me for that as well, which I love to do. And also on your blood work, if you've had it done the past 6 months, if you've had a vitamin D status that was under 50 units, that could also be an indicator of leptin resistant, where leptin's not working properly and you can't really tell when you're hungry and full. Or when you go on these diets, these weight loss diets, you actually have trouble losing weight. And you're not losing weight and you're still flabby. You can't like figure it out, okay? Or you have troubles keeping the weight off. So you've lost the weight, but you can't keep it off after you've stopped your dieting, okay? The other indication of where leptin's not working properly is if you're constantly hungry all the time. You feel like you're hungry, like you need to eat all the time. Really, because we need to be able to eat and then not eat for like 5 or 6 hours. But if you're eating every 2 hours because you feel like you have this hunger, then that could be a sign that you need to fix leptin, okay? And once you do, again, that's the switch, and you can burn the fat, build the muscle, everything works. Do you crave sweets? So you have this insatiable, like after dinner, you have to have a sweet, or just during the day, do you have like a sweet tooth, right? Or do you wake up hungry at night? So around the 2 to 3 mark, 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., are you like constantly waking up and you kind of feel hungry? You kind of need a snack? That's a sign. So you put a yes to that. Do you have a spare tire around the middle, or like an apple shape? So that is an indicator that you're carrying the weight around the area that is an indicator of being leptin resistant, where leptin's not working properly. We need to fix it. Are you losing muscle despite that you're actually working out? That's a sign that you're not able to build muscle, and that's a worry, and that is because of leptin resistant. Do you feel completely stressed out, overwhelmed, and your nervous system is just fried some or more of the time? Then you want to write a yes to that. Have you been diagnosed with high triglyceride levels? That would be, again, on your blood work. If it's showing a high on it says triglycerides, those are blood fats. If it's higher than normal, then that is a sign of being leptin resistant. If you have high blood pressure, that is also a sign. If you're being diagnosed with osteoporosis, which was me when I was 32, I actually was leptin resistant, and that's why I'm sharing this with you, because once I figured it out, everything worked and I was able to build my bones. So if you're diagnosed with osteoporosis, that's also a sign that you're leptin resistant. Okay, so do you have hypothyroid? So your thyroid isn't working properly, all right? And you've been diagnosed with that. So just looking for something. So if you answered yes to any of these questions, then you are suffering from some level of leptin resistant. And so you really want to pay attention to that, because this could be your answer to flipping the switch to losing the weight. So really, if you have like more than 3, then really we need to really look at this. So here is the solution, okay? And really the gold star to this leptin resistance piece is, can you tell when you're hungry or full? Like, can you tell? If you can't tell, you're likely leptin resistant, all right? So that is one of the sure signs, all right? So we are going to learn a little bit about, we talked about leptin, so I did go through that with you already. Why does it make us overweight? Because you're not eating at the right time. That's actually the reason why we need to fix leptin, is because you're not eating at the time that your body actually needs food, because it's broken. The link is broken. Really, what a perfect body in a perfect shape and perfect health is, you get the signal that the body actually does need food, and you get hungry and you eat your food, you eat your meal, and then you stop when you're 80% full, and then you're good for like 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. You're good to go. Like, that means that you are leptin sensitive, which means that your hormones are working properly, okay? And you have energy throughout the day, right? But if it's not working properly, then you're actually you're putting in calories, you're putting in nutrition when the body already it doesn't need it. And so you're overfilling your fat cells with more energy, and then they start to multiply and they get inflamed. And this is what leads to gaining weight and not being able to lose the weight, because you have way more fat cells. Your fat cells are inflamed, and it's just like piling up. All right. So that's how leptin makes you overfat, is because you can't tell when you're hungry or full. That is the number one thing we need to fix. And then what happens is, the more that we gain weight, the more that we have these fat cells, the more that you're inflaming. Okay. And if you're inflaming, then the body puts all the energy to try and put the fire out, not to help you lose weight at all. No, it's inflammation that's driving all this, but because you're leptin resistant. Okay. Most people think, oh, I can't lose weight because my thyroid I have underactive thyroid. Actually, if you go higher up in the hormone, like our hierarchy, it's leptin that drives thyroid. So it's probably not even thyroid. It could be higher up, like leptin. And so if you fix leptin, thyroid fixes itself. That is something that I wish I could put on a billboard, is we're not looking deep enough. We think it's thyroid, but actually it's higher up. It's the leptin that talks to the thyroid. So that's really, really something to think about, okay? And once you fix leptin, thyroid gets fixed, and then everything works. So you may be thinking, well, how did I even get here? Like, what happened for me to even have this issue with leptin? Well, there are many causes actually of leptin resistant. The primary one would be your diet is off. You've been eating way too many plants, carbohydrates. Like, what are carbohydrates? Okay, a diet too high in carbohydrates. What are carbohydrates? Well, they are vegetables. Vegetables are carbohydrates. Yes, they are. And there are above the ground vegetables and below the ground. So like non-starchy, which are above the ground, and starchy, which are below the ground. So what are below the ground non-starchy veggies? No, what are below the ground starchy veggies? Those are potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes. Anything that grows underground is going to have actually more sugar to them, more carbohydrates, concentrated carbohydrates, than the ones in the garden that are above the ground. Above the ground would be like leafy greens or peppers or tomatoes or like celery, cucumbers, radishes. Those are like low carbohydrate, low sugar, not concentrated carbs. But if they're too high in these below the ground vegetables, then that could be a problem. Another form of carbohydrate is fruit. So if you eat too much fruit, then you are eating a diet that's too high in carbohydrates, and that could lead to leptin issues. So fruit. So how much is too much fruit? Well, likely more than one whole fruit or more than 1 cup of fruit a day. If you're having like 2 or 3 or 4, that's too much carbohydrates, and that will throw leptin off, okay? Because you always think you're hungry all the time. And other forms of carbohydrates are whole grains or just grains. So those are, if you have too many whole grains, then it's too many carbs for the body, and that leads to leptin resistant. Obviously, processed food, those are rich in carbohydrates. I call them fake foods. It's not even food. It's fake food. It's in a package. It's not even real food. They can't even call it food. Food substances, maybe. I don't know, but that's not real. So if you're having food substances from a box most of the day, then those are, your diet is off, and you likely know that. So that's a form of carbohydrate. So if you're having too many of those, then we know that that is going to lead to this weight issue, okay, which is leptin resistant. Another cause of leptin resistance is you are not sleeping properly. So a chronic lack of sleep. What that means is if you have insomnia, or if you have some good days, some bad days, if you go to bed too late, which is past 10, we don't want to do that. We need to go to bed 10 or earlier. And if you can't sleep through the night, and this is like a chronic issue, that will definitely lead to leptin resistance, because your hormones are off. It dysregulates the hormones. Leptin is a hormone. It's the master hormone. And so basically you wake up and you feel like you're hungry all the time because you didn't have the proper sleep. Okay. So if that happens too long, then we need to fix this. Also, if you have blood sugar imbalances, what that means is you're like a roller coaster. You eat and then you're like hungry like an hour later, because you feel like you're crashing. And so you need to like eat again, or have a coffee, or have some sugar, or have something that's going to raise your blood sugar. If that happens over time throughout the day, then that is going to lead to a leptin resistance. Or if you're chronically overeating and then like puking it out, or just chronically overeating or chronically undereating, see, that's going to also lead to this leptin resistance. Also, if you're chronically constipated. So if you can't have that regular bowel movement a day, 1 to 2 to 3 a day, that's called regularity. If you can't have 1 to 2 to 3 bowel movements a day, you are chronically constipated, okay? And so it's something that's going to lead to this leptin resistance. So we need to get the bowels moving. We need to have 1 to 3 bowel movements a day. And if not, you are likely leptin resistant. Also, if you have too much stress in a day, you're piling in too many things. You're like, you've got this rushing woman syndrome, where you're rushing from one thing to the next and you're like stressed out of your face. That is going to lead to a leptin issue. You can't even tell when you're hungry or full. All right. That is, and over time, that does lead to this hormone imbalance. The other one is if you aren't outside enough. You're not getting the natural sunlight, or if you have too much of these artificial sunlights on you, the body doesn't even know what time of day it is. It's thinking that, and you know, these artificial lights that you're exposed to, they actually tell the body it's 12 o'clock during the day all the time. They do. So, because you have these environmental sensors in your body, and it's sensing it's 12 o'clock all the time. So it's saying, oh, it's noon, time to eat, time to eat, time to eat. That's going to mess up leptin, your main hormone. But if you, go outside, then the body knows what time of day it is. That's one way, one of the ways to fix leptin. There are others, but that's just one of the ways. But if you're inside too much, that could lead to leptin resistance. So here we go. We've gone through 7 causes of leptin resistant. And what I want to do now is kind of shift the gears to say the reason why this actually leads to you failing with other diets, you feeling hopeless, and you just overwhelmed, is because leptin resistant causes this whole body inflammation. And this leads to this hormone balance that really needs to get fixed. Now, you've likely heard that inflammation is the driver to all disease. Absolutely it is. Your body's inflaming because it's trying to fix something. Well, let's find out what it needs to get fixed. Well, this is likely leptin. And this is the reason why other diets have failed you, why you feel hopeless, why this, why that. It's because we need to fix leptin, the one hormone that will help everything else work, okay? And once we fix it, everything else works. It's like super, super easy. So so we're going to now learn how we're going to do this, okay? So here are my simple solutions. So the first one is we are going to focus on these 6 game-changing keys, okay? Just focus on these 6 areas that we need to work on for you to fix leptin, because it's really a 6, it's multifactorial. So the first one is what I want you to do to fix leptin, and so that you can burn the fat, build the muscle, look and feel 10 years younger, and keep it off for life, is we're going to practice intermittent fasting. Yes, we are. And we've probably heard this term before many, many times. Really, are you doing it, and is it consistent? So it's consistency that wins the race, right? And this is where the discipline comes in, not the motivation we talked about. No, the discipline, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to, what does intermittent fasting mean? It means that there's no calories, none of those inputs for 14 to 16 hours after dinner, so your last meal of the day, and before breakfast. And this is referred to as the fast, so the intermittent fasting. So we're going to want to fast for 14 to 16 hours. This will actually allow leptin to reset just like that. It does. Yeah, it does. You need to be consistent, but you know what? It works. And so then you're going to feed within your window of feeding. So I call this feed well, fast well. So you're going to fast for the 14 to 16 hours. That means no calories. And you're going to feed within the 8 to 10 hour window. So that's when you're going to nourish the body with the right foods. So that's the first game-changing key to fixing leptin, and then you flipping the switch to fast and easy weight loss. Okay. Now, a lot of people come to me and they share with me what they're doing when they're fasting, and they're still putting calories in without even realizing it. One example would be coffee creamers in their coffee. So they think coffee is like a beverage. There's no calories in that. And then they're forgetting that they're putting this coffee creamer in. You have stopped your fasting window. So that's just one little tip here in this one little section for you to think about. And if you're not sure if what you're doing is actually fasting, then of course reach out to me. Just ask Michelle. That's what I'm here for. And then I could quickly find out and let you know, like, is it really fasting? Because you have to fast. The way to fast is to have no calories, okay? So then the next game-changing key, there's 6 of them. Number 2 is if you've heard, listened to my videos, we need to eat enough protein, all right? And so we talked about carbohydrates, all those plants in that. Well, we're missing the protein. We need to add the protein. You need to eat enough protein during your feeding window. And you may be thinking, well, how much protein? Well, it's a simple calculation of 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. So what that means is if you want to be like 130 pounds, you would eat 130 grams of protein for the day. It's that simple, all right? Not weight protein, not 130 weight, no, yielding protein. If you need some help with that, let me know. All my clients, as you know, you get meal plans. So I've already worked it out for you, and here's what this protein requirement looks like. So I've already done the work for you. So if anyone here has any questions, let me know. Anyways, so we're going to have 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal weight. Okay. And so a sound strategy, I've actually added another little tip here for you, is your first meal of the day. You want it to have 50 grams of protein in yield. Okay, not weight again. So your first meal of the day, whatever time that is, after you finish your fast, you want to make sure that meal, the first meal of the day, has 50 grams of protein. Okay, and then the third game-changing key to fixing leptin, so that you can flip the switch to weight loss, is we need to keep these carbohydrates that you've been eating like all day. We need to minimize them just in the beginning, just till leptin fixes itself. And you'll learn when it's fixed. But just getting back to, we got to limit these plants. We need to up the protein and limit the carbohydrates. And so you can track if you want, but really you want 50 grams or less for the whole day. So here we're having 130 grams of protein if our ideal weight is 130 pounds. But then for carbohydrates, we're actually limiting it to 50 grams or less for the whole day. All right. When you do that, oh my gosh, things can really turn around for you. Okay. And a little tip here I'm going to give you right now is if you just eat like the above the ground vegetables, those are the non-starchy fibrous ones. Those are like the low carb ones. Then you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So anyone need help with that, just definitely let me know. Okay, so the fourth game-changing key to fixing leptin so that you can flip the switch to weight loss is we are going to get morning sunlight. Yes, so key, so key. And if there's anyone watching this that is curious to know why, it's because your body, when it wakes up, we're designed as human beings, like our ancestors did, to go outside first thing in the morning. And when you do, your body knows what time of day it is because you're away from the artificial light, you're into the natural light, and then the body knows exactly what time of day. So it's going to actually upregulate all the hormones it needs for you to have, for you to be healthy. Being healthy means being lean. Being healthy means being strong. Being healthy is having a sex drive. And so when you go outside, it's like laser therapy. Your body knows, psh, awesome, this is the time of day. Great. We're going to release this hormone. So leptin gets balanced, right? We're going to release these digestive enzymes because it knows what food are grown in your environment to be able to break down the food so that you use it as energy and not storing as fat. Yes, it does. All this is research-based. And then you're going to tell the body, oh, let's raise that cortisol because cortisol is a hormone that gives us the zippity-doo-dah during the day. And let's like put melatonin away, which is our sleep hormone. So here we have energy and we don't feel sleepy because we've gone outside and we told the body what time of day it is. Raise cortisol and lower melatonin. Oh, yes, it works. So what we're going to do is, here's the tip. As soon as you wake up, within 30 minutes of you waking up, go outside and look to see where the sun is rising. Yes, because that's a frequency of the sun who's going to help you lose weight. Yes, it will. The sun is rising, look in that direction, and you just stand out there and look in that direction, and your body knows exactly what time of day it is, and you're really off to the races with your weight loss and your health. Okay, so try that. And then the fifth game-changing key to fixing this one hormone called leptin so that you can flip the switch to weight loss is we want to get moving. Yeah, we need to move. And our ancestors move. We're human beings. We're designed to lift heavy things once in a while and move a lot. And so when you do this form of exercise over time, and you do the right form of exercise, you're actually able to train the body to build the muscle because you're eating properly to build the muscle, which is the protein. And you can get lean, okay, by doing this as well, because you're building muscle, which raises your metabolism, which then allows you to be able to eat foods and feed the muscle instead of eat foods and feed the fat, right? So we're going to make sure that we move. So we move throughout the day, but just add some resistance training into your weekly workout. And so this would be your body, whole body. You could use this resistance training. You could lift weights. You could swim because that's resistance. Whatever you love to do consistently, you should do that. And if you're just starting out, just one day a week, just pick one day a week. And that is my resistance training day. And I'm going to be consistent with that because I have discipline. And when I do that, again, you're going to build your metabolic engine, which is the muscle. You're going to eat to feed the muscle, which is the protein. And you're being consistent with yourself so that you have the confidence to know that you can do it. And if you're already doing 1 time a week, go to 2. If you're doing 2 times a week, go to 3. I wouldn't do more than 3. 3 foundational full body workouts a week is perfect. So the program that I have available for my clients has the workout plan built in. And so it is part of this plan. So it's called the Slim, Strong, and Sexy weekly workout because it's a week of workouts. It's not just like one. It's because the days that you don't resistance train, we're going to do other things the other days, which is going for a walk or hike or whatnot. But it's carefully programmed to be able to fix leptin, burn fat, build muscle, look and feel 10 years younger. Now we're going to get into the last one, which is going to, it's a game-changing key to help you fix leptin so that you can flip the switch to weight loss. And that is, we need to sleep. We need to sleep properly and we need to sleep enough. So what does that mean? Well, this is foundational to you losing weight and keeping it off and fixing leptin. Because what happens is if we don't get that proper sleep, then leptin can't be fixed. It can't, because it needs to be released at a certain time throughout the night for it to be balanced for you to lose the weight. And so if that's not happening, what happens is leptin's not being released properly. And then you wake up and you actually wake up hormonally imbalanced. And one of the hormones that gets imbalanced if you don't have a good sleep is insulin. Okay. And insulin is a fat storage hormone. And you wonder why you have sugar cravings. You wonder why you are hungry all the time. It's because you didn't have the right sleep where it's affecting leptin. So you wake up and you're just like hungry, ravenous, want sugar all the time. Yeah, because you're tired. So really, we need to get the sleep worked out. Okay. When you do, that is flipping the switch to losing weight and keeping it off. I'm having like awesome days. So we want to make sure that we're actually counting out 8 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep per night. And so that means you you practice a good sleep regime, which is in my program, and you hit the pillow and you sleep. You fall asleep and then you wake up and you go, wow, it's the morning. Instead of this waking up in the middle of the night, having to pee or being restless or hurting or whatever it is, we really need to stop that. We need to get that full sleep. It's called beauty sleep for a reason, because you wake up refreshed, you wake up slim. You wake up slimmer and you have better days. All right. So there's more to, the little intricacies to that, but really you will get a copy of this. So this is given, it's like a cheat sheet. So this is what is the full how to fix leptin, because everything is step by step. It's super easy. There are some supplements that you can take also to give you unfair advantage to fixing leptin, but they are supplementing a good diet. They're supplementing a good lifestyle. Okay. They're not this quick fix stuff, but it's good to take in conjunction if you feel you'd like the extra help. Nothing wrong with that. But remember, the diet and lifestyle is the foundation. These are your these are just going to give you that extra edge to be able to lose the weight. So yeah, it's called Tri-Metabolic Control, and it actually is designed to fix leptin. Okay. And you can get it through my full script online dispensary, and the link is here. There's Slim Pro formula. It works with Tri-Metabolic Control. They work together to give you a 1-2 punch so that you can get results really, really quickly. Of course, we want to get the protein powder in there or some kind of protein. If you don't want to eat animal protein like all day, or if you like smoothies, this one here, Sun Warrior Plant Protein, is plant protein. You could do plant protein or you could do whey protein. Either one's going to be great. And so you're going to want to look at something like that. And if you need some help, let me know, obviously, because I can send you the link and you can order them right away. So how do you know that you are now leptin sensitive, which means how do you know that you fixed leptin? Okay. Well, the first way to know is your hunger and cravings go away. Which means that when you're hungry, you eat, and then you stop and you're good for like 4, 5, 6 hours. And these like sugar cravings, they are gone, gone, gone. You will not have these sugar cravings anymore. You will actually be able to, this is super cool. You'll be like this ninja where you'll actually be able to tell, oh, wow, I am hungry. I have never felt that before. Wow, does that ever feel good? Oh, wow, I can tell true hunger. And then when you start to eat, you can actually tell when you're full, and you can actually eat till you're satisfied. It's so like cool. This is called food freedom. This is called reaching your ideal weight in a really fun, enjoyable way. Okay. You'll also notice for sure your clothes, they will fit looser. They like, especially around the middle, right? And even around the buttocks. Like the pear shape, that goes away too. So you're going to see that your shape is going to really look so much sexier to you, sexier to your partner. You'll feel sexier, but really your clothes are going to start to feel looser around the middle. And like around the waistline. Happens all the time. And also around your bra line. if you're a woman and you're watching this, that actually becomes looser too. So get ready maybe to fit into those other clothes that you are hanging in the closet that you've been wanting to fit into. You'll be able to do that. You'll also notice that you're going to wake up way more refreshed than you ever have before. And so your sleep efficiency is going to improve. So you're going to wake up like feeling like all day energy, like a kid again. Your mood will improve. People will notice you. You'll vibrate at this level that we talked about earlier. And you're going to feel like this sense of confidence, which will be calm and relaxed. You won't be stressed and like biting people's heads off. I know you don't want to. You're going to show up in a way that you're proud of. All these things like right away as soon as leptin gets fixed. So we talked about leptin, and that is the number one hormone that if you fix, things will work very quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to go back and I'm going to share with you the other. So if that really doesn't feel like you, and you don't have 20 or more pounds to lose, but you have maybe a little bit less than that, and you wonder why I can't lose it, I'm going to show you why right now. Okay, you ready for this? So fun. Oh, I have people that are watching this, and thank you for watching, because this is a new platform for me that I'm going to keep doing, and I actually want to give you the real deal information that I give to my clients that get results. And so thank you so much, Tara. Thank you so much for everyone else watching. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share with you 6 metabolic imbalances that could be why you're not losing weight. Okay, so just one moment. And I'm going to get to it right now. So just give me a second. Okay. So, this is fun. Okay, so here we go. This is what I give to my clients. So here's the thing. We are doing a self-assessment. We are looking to see why you can't lose the weight, why you can't keep it off for life. Like, where's this flip the switch? We're going to find out of these 6, which one might be you. So it is the secret to slim. And you know, all those little like messages that your body's giving you, things like low energy, insomnia, constipation, diarrhea, if you have these rashes on your skin, if you have sugar cravings, if you can't think properly, if you have body pain, if your inner voice is saying, listen, like my labs say I'm good, but I'm not good. I don't feel right. Something's just not right. Intuitively, you just know something's not right. Well, it's not really a problem. It's like your body is actually talking to you saying, listen, please hear me this time. Please help me, help me, help me, help me. It's going to get louder and louder until you actually fix it. And if you don't fix it, then you ended up in places like hospitals and stuff like that you don't want. You're watching this because you want to like live a high quality life, and maybe you want to be hiking when you're 80 like me. I'm definitely on my way to do that. So just so you know, this is a problem that I see all the time. It's not your fault. We are so programmed for this quick fix thing that we have to break past that paradigm and into let's dive deep to really what's going on. Okay. And so it's not you, it's a system that's broken, but you're listening to a system that does work. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at right now 6 metabolic imbalances that if we fix, like we'll find out which one is yours. But once we start to fix them, things start to work so well. We looked at leptin already, but we're going to look at these right now. So the first one that I notice right away when my clients come to me is quite often they have poor digestion. And this will actually inhibit your ability to reach your ideal weight and keep it off for life. We have to get the digestion working. If it's not working, that is the first place to go. All right. If leptin's working and you still have poor digestion, we really need to fix this. All right. We got to fix this. And my next week on Wednesday at 12 noon, I'm actually going to do what I did with leptin. I'm actually going to do training on digestion. We're actually going to do a self-assessment on digestion. We're actually going to see if your digestion is really stopping you from, getting that flip of the switch for you to lose weight and keep it off for life. So that'll be next week, but I just want to prime you right now that poor digestion is also one of those things we got to get fixed. The other one is food allergies. So that would be the number 2 thing I see all the time that is stopping my clients or anyone interested in losing weight. It's stopping them. Why? Because your body's always inflaming. You're eating something that is not agreeing, and the body has to do something with that, and it's going to store fat because you're always inflaming. And so we're going to want to self-identify to see if maybe that is it. They could be food sensitivities. What is the difference? A food allergy is an immune response to a food that your body cannot have. You'll have an instant reaction, like hives, or you have instant body pain, or you have instant energy crash. You'll have like a severe reaction. So that's an allergy. You can have a food sensitivity. What is that? It's like it's not an instant. It can take up to 72 hours of reaction. What that means is you could have constipation from food sensitivities. You could have pain that is kind of lingering. You could have like this low energy, like low grade energy all the time. You could have things like that. So all that means is your body doesn't have the enzymes to break down that food that you keep putting in. And so it starts to accumulate, this toxic stuff starts to accumulate. And that's why you have these that's why you feel the way you do, is because you're actually eating foods that your body can't digest. It's not an immune response, it's an enzyme response. That means your body can't digest it as well, okay? Because you've been having it for too long and too much. Then we get into candida. Well, definitely candida is going to be a culprit. The reason for that is because it makes you eat sugar. And if you're going to eat sugar, how are you going to reach your ideal weight? You're not. And you're going to inflame. You're going to feel like crap. You're going to look really old. So we can self-identify if maybe candida is the problem, because these candida are yeast-like fungus that actually make you eat sugar. Okay? So we'll look at that in the following weeks, and we'll do a self-assessment on that. Then we're going to look at adrenals. Maybe you're so stressed out of your face you don't even realize it. Well, we're going to do a self-assessment in future episodes of this to see if maybe it is the adrenals that is driving your extra weight. You'll know that if you have like this weight around the middle. That is usually the stress response that is driving that. Okay. Then we're going to look at thyroid. Maybe it is thyroid. Maybe leptin's working great, and maybe it really is the thyroid. Well, actually, when we do the training on that in future shows, then you're actually going to know it really is. And here's the thing: so many of these, the blood work or the doctors are saying you don't have a thyroid issue, or you do have a thyroid issue, but do you really? Half the time, it's actually not true. But we're going to know exactly if you do or not when you listen to one of my episodes in the future. We're going to do a self-assessment to see if it is. And then hypoglycemia. So this is like a sudden drop of energy, like sudden. And then you have these mood swings and you're like, oh my God, I'm crashing again. It's like up and down and up and down. Oh my God. I can't imagine living like that. And I'm sure you're tired of it too. That's going to lead to your inability to lose weight as well. Now, we talked about leptin, but next week, if you chime in, we're actually going to dive into if digestion is one of the reasons why you can't lose weight. And here, I'm going to stop this right now. And I am going to go back to here and say, hey, one more screen I'm going to share. And then anyone here who is watching this and really interested in committing to yourself and want to fix this for good, obviously that's why I'm here, to help you out. Okay, so one last share, and then we're about maybe 5 minutes. Okay, so this screen is really about like, are you ready to say yes to you? Like, are you ready to commit to yourself? Like, are you tired of what's not working? Because if it's not working, like, when is it going to work? Are you ready to actually get a plan that has been proven to work? So it's not you, it's the system that's not working. Okay. And I have the system that does. So if you're ready, this system will work for you. And it's a lot of fun doing it too. Because you get to actually see the results, and it's fun to be able to eat in a way that actually does get you toned and burn the fat, and you look better and you feel better and people notice. And so it really is owning you and being ready for the woman or the man that you are meant to be. Because you intuitively go, you know what? I'm not really reaching my potential. And I know I have something greater and better out there, because I'm so tired of this fear and this guilt and this yucky, depressed. I'm not living the life that I want? Well, come over to this playground because we are living like we want. So I have a number of men and women that are in the Slim, Strong, and Sexy program now. And it's a rolling start, so you can come and join the playground, come play with us, and you will get your program. And then I'm actually going to coach you through it as well. So it's a lot of fun. So you get the program, you get the coaching, you get the support of the ones that are doing it already. It's a winning combination. And so if this interests you and you are ready to slip into the new you, then I encourage you to book a 15-minute insight call. And on this insight call, we're going to be able to see each other. And then I want to learn a little bit more about you to see if it's a fit for you to join the program. And even at the end of it, if it doesn't feel right, that's totally fine. I'll still give you an action step that I can see very clearly that will actually help you on your way. But really, if you want the complete plan, it is a complete plan, and it works like gangbusters. So, if you're at all interested, just book that call. We can meet, and we can get you, clear on your next steps. So this is only for those that are ready to take their next step and commit to you. And if it feels like it's right now, okay? And so if this does sound like you're ready and you're excited, then please message me after this call or after the replay, and I'd be happy to meet with you and get you started and come and join us here at the playground, where you can actually flip the switch to easy and fat weight loss and keep it off for life and have fun doing it. Okay. So thank you so much for joining, and I'm going to end this now, and I'm going to put the replay up so that you can watch it. And then I'm going to put this into the resource guide into your community, into the Facebook group. I'm actually going to start this resource guide of these links where you'll be able to go in and actually see the replay anytime you want in one little area. And I want you all to, have a great day. And if you know of anyone else who's struggling, please share this group, this Facebook community group, because really it's all about empowering us all to enjoy losing the weight and without starving, without struggling, and still being able to enjoy our favorite foods and wine. Okay, so we're done with that. We're entering this new world where we can do it in a way that's simple. So thanks for joining, and I will see you next week, and where I'll be talking about digestion. Okay, have a great day.